Okay, this is going to be part 2 of using landmines for patrol-based defense. In part 2, laying out the mines, deciding what's going to go where. Now, when you are the leader and you've been tasked with putting out that hasty minefield in front of you, you collect up what your people have. Ideally, each person's going to be carrying a couple mines. And as I said in part 1, if it's an infantry unit, you're probably going to want to concentrate on tripwire activated mines because you're covering more of an area because you got that tripwire, the longer trigger, compared to pressure mines where the trigger is only that small place on small spot on the top of the mine. If you're an engineer unit or sappers, you might have some pressure mines you're going to add into it. And then obviously if you fall short, you make up for what you need using fragmentation grenades that you have on hand. So hopefully your people will have some vegetable cans. That's the ones that I found that work the best with USM 67s. It's the correct diameter. At least when I set them up for training grenades can slide in and out of them, no problems. So the 3 main types of mines that we have in our scenario for using for protecting patrol base is bounding fragmentations, stake mines, and claymores. Now, for NATO countries, especially the US, we don't have any stake mines. Eastern European NATO countries, they still do, left over from the old Soviet days. And everyone's got fucking claymores for militaries. And you have, Iraq was even producing them in factories. And I know North Korea makes their own versions too. So, and claymores, damn easy to produce, improvised. So we have our perimeter here for our squad. We got foxholes, 2-man hasties, bunkers, whatever people are setting in depending on the terrain that's in front of them and that stuff. Now when we're deciding our minefield in front of us, we're going to look at Okoka. O-C-O-K-A, Okoka. Observation and fields of fire, cover and concealment, situational obstacles, which would be the landmines, key terrain, and avenues of approach. Now when we're picking our spots to put the mines in, we're going to layer as much as possible to protect our people back here because we have to account for what is that landmine's kill zone, what is its wound zone. Remember, the wound zone or wound radius is far larger than that kill zone. The kill zone's a lot closer in. We have to account for the locations of our defenses when we're putting the mines out there and take into account what type of defense is it. Is it a V-shaped hasty? They're not that far down in the ground, so maybe bounding fragmentation probably isn't the best mine to put directly in front of that position. You might want to use a claymore or a hand grenade inside a vegetable can. Now, reminder on the kill zones for the mines. The kill zone for bounding fragmentation is 15 to 20 meters. The wound zone is up to 100 meters. No guarantee someone's going to get hit out that far, but there is a possibility. For a stake mine, because these are essentially hand grenades on a stick, a little bit more powerful, a little bit thicker walled on it, so more shrapnel and bigger pieces. Kill zone is 10 to 25 meters. For a claymore kill zone is 50 meters to the front and a little bit to the side. Claymore typically has about a 60-degree arc to its front that it covers with fragmentation when it goes off. But you also have to remember there is a 16-meter danger area directly to the sides and the rear. and that is for a regular type of claymore, along the lines of a Russian Mon 50, an American M18A1, or Yugoslavian Murad. Your basic claymore. I'm not talking a Mon 90, a Mon 100, Mon 200. Okay, so we go through, we look at our terrain, and we pick out the spots we want to put mines in. I went through the procedure on laying it out in part 1. But the mines that are the farthest out predominantly will be our bounding fragmentations. You can mix in some stake mines, you can mix in some claymores on tripwires, you can mix in some hand grenades in soup cans or some other hand grenade booby trap. You can also put in, you know, claymores on tripwires, trip flares, whatever you want farther out. But really this farthest out distance, that's where the bulk of your bounding fragmentations are going to be located. Your next layer in, from roughly 15 meters out to 25 meters in front of your position, this is really the area where it should be predominantly stake mines. But you may have areas in there you might toss in a bounding fragmentation because that terrain will prevent the shrapnel from hitting your positions back here. But it will allow it to spread in the area that the enemy is approaching through. This area in here is also where you can put in your hand grenade booby traps. Once you get under 25 meters, so this area here, I know I have under 25 and this is 15 to 25. But really, you know, 25 meters and back, this is where primarily you're going to rely on your claymores. You will have overlap up in here. Or if you don't have stake mines, you have these 25 meters out and claymores covering everything from here back. Now you understand what's going on. But you'll have claymores, which in these will be set up for command detonation from the fighting positions for the most part. You can have a claymore dual initiated. That means two different ways to set it off. Most claymores have two fuse wells. One fuse well, you can put in the blasting cap from your initiation set that comes with it. And that other fuse well, you could use it to daisy chain to another set of claymores nearby. So you get a whole row going off at the same time to really just clear the vegetation in front of you. Or you could tie it into a tripwire using some type of firing device or booby trap device. Now immediately in front of your position here, I'd say under hand grenade range, this area, you may not want to put in too many booby traps, explosive booby traps, but you could put in your non-explosive. I would also recommend this is a great area for planting your asparagus fields. Security guy, what's an asparagus field? You ever hear of Rommel's asparagus from World War II? He put in giant poles in the grounds and in the fields to stop gliders from coming in and maybe impale paratroopers coming down in Normandy. We can take that same concept and use punji stakes. So you can call this a punji stake field or you can call it an asparagus patch, whatever you so choose to. Soldiers have a tendency to get creative. So in front of our position, we'll have fields of punji stakes, which are going to be angled outward from the perimeter. That if the enemy does somehow get past all this stuff, they're still charging through, we can't pull out, they're within hand grenade range now, that's when they start running into those punji stakes. Maybe you can put a line of 550 cord going across to trip them so that they fall forward onto those punji stakes also. I did that in a video once also, explained that one. This is the area here where you would put that in, right in front of your position, that final defense. If the enemy comes in here, steps on that punji stake, they're going to forget really fast what they're doing, that they're trying to get you. They're only going to be thinking about getting their foot off that goddamn stake, which is going to give the person in that position that split second they need to target him and take him out. And then shift on to the next one. Get the general idea. You want to layer it. How far out should your mines go? That's going to be dependent up to you on how many you have available, what your enemy threat is, what their capabilities are, how long you're going to occupy that location. If you're going to be there longer term, 30 days or more, yeah, I would push your minefield that the very forward edge of it may be a couple 100 meters in front of you. The farther out from your position, that's where you're going to be mining those likely avenues of approach, those game trails and that stuff that you're not using. And if you do use game trails or something, you put mines on that location or booby traps on that trail that you use, make sure to come up with a system of marking your people will recognize, know to look for, and the enemy is not aware of. I do have a video posted on Viet Cong mines and booby traps. Go through and review that. It does show in there some of the markings that the Viet Cong used in Vietnam. This was a film created by the Marine Corps to teach their troops coming into Vietnam what to look for, what are some of the capabilities that the guerrillas used. Think of you're the guerrilla now, you're trying to copy some of those techniques, adapt them to your skills, your capabilities, and what you have available. Now I know I'm going to get a smart ass that's going to say, well, where do we get landmines from if we're not in a war? You're going to get them after it starts. You'll get them off the black market, you'll steal them from your enemy, you'll take them off dead enemy troops, you'll take them out of their supply trucks when you ambush their convoys, or you'll make them. During World War II, partisans had landmine factories inside occupied territories where they were producing anti-tank mines, anti-personnel mines. During Vietnam, the Viet Cong were doing the same thing in the jungle. They were able to produce booby traps and mines on an almost industrial scale out in the middle of the jungle, pass it out to their units, and they were putting them in. So there you go. A little bit more information explaining using landmines for your patrol base defense. Now, for all my engineer brothers in the Patriot and militia movements, always remember essayons.